Hello, coaches. Welcome back to another Modern Soccer Coach Breakdown. There is still, after all these years, talk, discussions, arguments in the coaching community, opposed versus unopposed. People argue that unopposed exercises have no relevance to the game and do not teach decision making. I would argue that they are very, very useful to warm ups, to paint pictures, but only if they are relevant to the exercise and to the objective that you are trying to work towards, usually alongside the game model. So we're going to look at 3 ways you could do that today. I wouldn't recommend using these for 60 minutes. I would recommend using these for 6 to 9 minutes. Quick warm-up, maybe an extension of a dynamic warm-up, and then into the exercise. I'm going to show where I would use them in the tactical system, and then how to paint that picture with the passive warm-up. Before we start, please make sure you like and subscribe to this new channel. Bonus content, tons more information coming your way, tons more content coming your way. And if you have any requests, feel free to put them on the comments below. Here we go. Pass and warm-ups. Let's go. So for this first one, the tactical objective is building in a 4-2-3-1 in blue and playing a diagonal pass. Once the press starts, trying to find a weak side number 6, who's the number 8 there, and then progress possession playing forward. So trying to build a session into this, what would be a pass and warm-up that you could really communicate the importance of that diagonal pass and try to, again, get players comfortable and confident in receiving it, taking into account that the goalkeeper's involved as well, so maybe building the goalkeeper into that as well. So here's an idea. Ball's played by the goalkeeper, and then diagonal pass back around to another goalkeeper, and the players follow their passes in blue, but the goalkeepers stay, if that makes sense. Groups are small. The passing distances a little bit extended on this one just to show the diagram. You could minimize these to 15-20 yards passing distances, but I think you've got different combinations as well. You might bounce it and for the goalkeeper to play in. So different ideas. Again, goalkeeper taking a second option and then playing their diagonal pass, using an exercise like this before you go into the tactical work and the opposed work. Another idea here, same system, but different concept. Now you want combination play in midfield between those double sixes, the 6 and the 8 in the 4-2-3-1. So this was a De Zerbi masterclass that he had his teams really combine centrally to break pressure. So once the red comes in, then it's the timing of the 6 and the 8 to play together, those distances, those angles, the combination play, maybe to carry, maybe then to play forward in the higher lines. How could you build that into a passing exercise to go into the practice and work on it? Well, here is an idea. So now you have those central players inside a rectangle, and you're looking at different combinations for them to bounce off. You have switching positions. So the pass goes across and then it goes in and then it comes out and then it goes vertical. So again, as a coach, you can modify this here. It's always good to keep the numbers small on the outside as well. So maybe 6 players max, maybe 7, so that your players are moving and they're also then, they get that repetition and they get that practice alongside the central players. And then the last one is playing in the higher lines. So now you're looking at the 9-10 relationship where it's a little up, back and through, but now maybe it's a centre back playing a longer pass in to the 9 or the 10 if the 10 is advanced. And you're working on those relationships underneath once the entry pass is played, and then unlocking space with the third man runner, again, that up, back and through. So how do you paint that picture in the practice? Again, I would only use these for maybe 6 to 8 to 9 minutes before you go into the opposed work, just to get that repetition and maybe that detail on the 9's timing, the 9's ability to play off, the 9's ability to set Here you've got 2 9s. Again, you've got a rectangle. Ball goes across, then ball goes into the lower 9, higher 9, and those 2 players end up on the other side. Couple more players this time involved in the passing exercise, but I would keep it to 8 to 10 players on the outside so that, again, the repetitions are quick. You can keep that intensity. One of the worst things you can do for an unopposed pass warm-up leading into a session is too many players. And then the players will disengage, the tempo will drop, and all of a sudden you'll be questioning your organization. If you keep the numbers short as possible, and you keep the intensity and you keep the time as low as possible, you get that intensity, hopefully that realism too. Thanks for watching, coaches. Please subscribe before you leave.